I mean, that is why football is unrivaled. That is why football is unmatched. Liverpool Football Club, what have you just done? I cannot believe what we have witnessed. The drama, the intensity, and the statement that Liverpool have made. Liverpool have gone to Paris St-Germain and put in an abject performance. Their worst performance under Arne Slot. It was pitiful at times. They were totally outplayed. They were embarrassed. And yet they have come away with a glorious victory, a victory that will go down in history. Can you imagine being an away fan in that corner, singing about the liver bird being on your chest? Can you imagine being in that Liverpool dressing room now? They know that they have got away with one, and they also know that they have made it into the quarterfinals of the European Cup. Yes, I know that feels like a bold statement. I know a lot of people will be arguing with me. I know a lot of you will be suggesting that it is only half time, but none of that is true. Liverpool have made it, and I know that for two reasons. There is absolutely no way that Paris Saint-Germain can go to Anfield and win. Not possible. I know they played very well today. Dembele looked amazing. Kvaratskhelia looked superb. They were a brilliant team. A boss team could be the perfect word for me to use in this circumstance. They looked superb. But they will not go to Anfield and win. And the other thing, Liverpool will never be that bad again. If you cannot beat Liverpool tonight, if you cannot beat Liverpool when effectively it looked to me like they were a one-man team. Like Alisson was unplayable. Alisson was totally immense. He was totally dominant. He was superhuman. But he was the only player that turned up for Liverpool. And yet somehow Liverpool have won the game. It was a tremendous game of football. I loved the drama. I loved the histrionics. I love the jeopardy. It was just a fantastic, dare I say it, a delectable medley of footballing splendour. But if you are a Liverpool fan, this must be one of the most satisfying wins all season. To play badly and win is the sign of champions. That is the point, isn't it? That is the point of this video. That is the point of the analysis of a game of football like that. Winners win. Winners find a way. Do you know what managers do? Managers, they affect the scoreline from the dugout. The point of a good manager, and Arne Slot is most certainly a good manager, the point of a good manager is to affect the game from the dugout, to have a direct impact on the game. And substituting Mohamed Salah in those circumstances felt to me like a slightly bold move. Not necessarily even the correct move. Who cares what I think? This is about Arne Slot and his genius. Bringing on Harvey Elliott in those circumstances was simply inspired. And when you've got a manager like Slot, when you've got the utensils at Arne Slot's disposal, both in his own ingenuity and in the players that he has at his disposal, and then you have a player like Alisson, who was, I mean, it's one of the best goalkeeping performances I've ever seen. Like, Liverpool have managed to win a game 1-0 away from home in Paris against an excellent side, and it's a game that they could legitimately have lost 4-0. You know, if I was doing this review and Liverpool had lost 4-0, you go, Dembele played brilliantly, Konate was sent off, Paris Saint-Germain were ruthless, Alisson didn't have the best game. They would have lost 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. They were totally dominated, and yet they're coming away from it with a 1-0 victory. And that is huge. And that is why we know that Liverpool are going to be crowned champions. And that is also why we know Liverpool will end this season with more than one trophy. When everything is considered, this is the perfect night of football for Liverpool. I genuinely believe that. To play badly and win is sensational. And do you know what? It kind of got me thinking. Got me thinking about Liverpool's midfield. You know, when we talk about Liverpool and what... Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a deep dive on this. I'm going to work on it now. If you're up for this, do me a favour, like this video. I'm going to now do a massive deep dive into Liverpool's midfield. Because I think when we talk about Liverpool, this video is going to go live tomorrow at 3:30. I'm going to make it happen if you like this video. If it gets enough likes, I'm going to do it. Tomorrow, 3:30 p.m, I'm going to get a video up about Liverpool's options in midfield. Because when you talk about the brilliance of Liverpool, I think there's loads of things that we can focus on, right? You can focus on the directors. You can focus on FSG getting it right, which they have done. You can focus on the genius that is Mohamed Salah, as I have done on this channel, on a documentary. You can focus on what Virgil van Dijk brings. But I feel like, maybe I'm going too far here, but I feel like the reason that Liverpool are going to win the league, and in my opinion, going to win the Champions League, and actually, in my opinion, going to win the League Cup against Newcastle, the reason why Liverpool are on for 3 trophies, it's actually the midfield. It's the way that they have got almost this perfect balance in midfield. It's really strange because it wasn't the way that they anticipated it. It wasn't necessarily what they wanted, the way that they went about their midfield, acquiring this midfield. You know, they missed out on Romeo Lavia, they missed out on Caicedo, they didn't want to spend the money on Jude Bellingham, and yet, look at the balance in this midfield. Look at the poise in this midfield. It's perfect. You know, you've got McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch. Gravenberch has been reimagined as one of the best players in the world in his position. You've got McAllister, who is doing a job. Now he's been kind of released from that holding role. Looks brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And Szoboszlai, I saw some amazing stats about him. You know, I think it was in the game against Manchester United. He ran 12 kilometres. And against Tottenham, he ran 12 kilometres. He's also popping up with big goals against City, big goals against Newcastle. Then you look at the others. Curtis Jones to come in where necessary. You know, the Scouser, that's important. Good player, looks after the ball, retains the ball so well. Then you've got Harvey Elliott coming in scoring winners. Then you've got Wataru Endo. I saw something about him. You know, Wataru Endo has only been on the pitch when Liverpool have conceded one goal this whole entire season. One goal this entire season he has witnessed go in. Every time he comes on, he comes on towards the end of basically every game. Liverpool have conceded only once all season with him on the pitch. What a midfield. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go into it now. There will be a video on this channel live tomorrow at 3:30 because I just think it's such an interesting story. But tonight, if you are a Liverpool fan, you must be over them because it could have all been so different. Can you imagine if Konate had been sent off for that foul on Barcola? Like, what was he thinking? He really got away with it. It was a definite foul, definite penalty. And surely, as brilliant as Alisson was, surely if Liverpool had gone down to 10 men, they would have capitulated in that Parisian pressure. They wouldn't have been able to withstand that amount of Parisian pressure without Konate on the pitch. So yes, they did ride their luck, although saying that, maybe they wouldn't have done. Maybe Alisson wouldn't have allowed them to lose, no matter what. You know, it's all very well saying Paris Saint-Germain didn't take their chances, and that is most certainly true. But maybe they did, and just Alisson didn't allow it. Alisson didn't allow them to lose. It was that sort of a performance. You know, when you think about, like, standout performances, Thibaut Courtois in the Champions League final, Petr Cech in the Champions League, it was that level of performance. It was one of the best goalkeeping performances I think I have ever seen. I think you could easily say it was Alisson's best ever performance for Liverpool. The game of his life, it really was. And because of how good he was, Liverpool were totally dominated, they were totally outplayed, and yet they've come away with a smash and grab victory. A precious smash and grab victory. And sometimes you have to do that because that is what champions do. Champions find a way. You cannot be perfect every single week. You cannot be on your A game every single week. Sometimes you're going to come up against excellent teams, just like this Paris Saint-Germain team are. And before the game, Arne Slot was talking, wasn't he? He said, Liverpool need to be at their very best to beat Paris Saint-Germain. That's true. You either need to be at your very best or you need to be at your most lucky. And Liverpool were at their most lucky. You know, Paris Saint-Germain were brilliant. They were a really good side. They were dynamic. They were cutting. They were offensive. They were brave. They were really good. They looked to me, actually, Paris Saint-Germain. It's not often you say this about a Paris Saint-Germain team. You know, I see them as a bottling club. I see them as a club that often bottle big chances. But they were actually looked, particularly in that first half, like a team capable of winning the Champions League. They were measured. They were thoughtful. They were provocative. They were controlled. They had a game plan that they stuck to, and they embarrassed Liverpool. They ran rings around Liverpool, and both on the dugout and on the pitch, Paris Saint-Germain won the battle. And then they had that, you know, that sprinkle of stardust, that bit of Hollywood, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia. They really did look like an excellent side, but they're out. They are out of the Champions League. There is absolutely no way that they are capable of going to Anfield and beating Liverpool. No way. It's just not going to happen. Liverpool will never be that bad again. Arne Slot won't allow them to be that bad again. Virgil van Dijk won't allow them to be that bad again. Mohamed Salah will not put in a performance like that again for the rest of the season. You know, how Paris Saint-Germain found themselves 1-0 down defies all logic, defies all science. But they did, and now they're out. They didn't let their dominance count. They didn't force it. And basically, they just have to look at this as a game of missed opportunities. You know, Luis Enrique has got to be heartbroken. It will feel like a gut punch to him because his team played so well, and yet ultimately it's going to be impossible for them to go through. You know, there is no doubt in my mind that Paris Saint-Germain deserved to win the game. But it's irrelevant, isn't it? It really is irrelevant. And, yep, they've been riding their luck, Liverpool. They looked lucky. But think how many times in Europe we saw Real Madrid ride their luck to the trophy. Do you remember when it felt like Real Madrid were going to get knocked out by Man City? Jack Grealish scored, went round the keeper and everything. And suddenly they were out. You know, these things do happen. And if you don't take your chances, you are done. But for Liverpool, I honestly believe that this could be one of the most significant nights because it was a game that they could legitimately have lost 4-0. and yet they have won it 1-0, and they have progressed through in Europe. The mood in that camp must be amazing. You saw the Liverpool fans after the game. You know, they're singing that about the liver bird on their chest at the moment. They're loving that song. With that in mind, you hear that? I gotta go. That's my baby, man. That's why the room's a tip, by the way. Everyone's giving me grief in the comments about the room. I've just had a baby. I don't even know what day it is. Football is my anchor, my sanity. That is what I'm relying on. So I thank you all so much for watching this video. I'm gonna work now. I'm gonna sort this out. Then I'm gonna work, and I'm gonna get this video out about Liverpool's midfield. 3:30 tomorrow. If you want to see that video, please like this one. If you've really enjoyed this video, click subscribe. It would be an honour to welcome you into this community. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I wish you a good night and congratulations, Liverpool. Let's go and see what Pandora's up to.